I stopped budgeting and actually started feeling rich. Nobody told me this mystery. My name's Professor Ashford, and what I'm about to share flipped my entire life upside down. For years, I tracked every penny. Spreadsheets, categories, guilt over coffee. I felt poor no matter what I earned. Then I discovered something ancient, a way of thinking about money that predates capitalism itself. It changed everything. Here's the hidden truth. Budgeting is a 20th century invention. Before 1920, most people didn't budget. They practiced enoughness. Research from Harvard's history department shows that pre-industrial families tracked not dollars, but satisfaction. They asked, "Do I have what I need to flourish today?" Not, "Did I stay under my grocery line?" Budgeting actually creates scarcity anxiety. Studies prove that tracking expenses makes you feel poorer because your brain focuses on what's missing, not what's abundant. So what if we flip the lens? In 2019, psychologist Dr. Emily Carter ran a study. Two groups, one tracked spending, the other tracked satisfaction moments, times they felt rich. The satisfaction group reported 40% higher well-being and actually saved more. Why? Because feeling rich isn't about digits. It's about noticing the wealth already in your life. That study changed how I see money entirely. Here's point 2. The real reason budgets fail is they're based on more restriction, more control, more guilt. But our brains rebel against that. Neuroscientist Dr. Sarah Wolf found that when people feel deprived, their prefrontal cortex, the decision-making center, actually shuts down. You crave what you can't have. So budgeting triggers a spending rebellion. The solution? Shift from "I can't have that" to "I choose not to have that because I already have enough." That tiny rephrase changes your entire relationship with money. Let me tell you about Robert. He was a client of mine, a high-earning engineer who felt broke. He budgeted obsessively. Every month he felt a little more trapped. Then he stopped. He started a richness journal. Every day, he wrote 3 moments that made him feel wealthy. A sunset, a friend's laugh, a hot meal. 6 months later, he'd saved $12,000 without trying, because he stopped fighting money and started celebrating it. This brings me to the deepest insight. The ancient Greeks had a word for this, autarkeia, self-sufficiency, but not in the survivalist sense. It meant having a sense of internal completeness, so external circumstances can't shake your peace. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Budgeting feeds craving. Enoughness feeds peace. And here's the mind bender. When you stop chasing more, you actually find you have more than you ever knew, because you stop ignoring the wealth already in your hands. I experienced this myself. I had a bank account crisis, lost a funding source, felt panic. Old me would have created a brutal spreadsheet. Instead, I asked, what do I already have that makes me feel rich? I counted my friendships, my health, my curiosity, my ability to learn. That week, I spent less, laughed more, and ended up earning more from a consulting project I never would have taken if I'd been locked in my budget prison. The irony is thick enough to drink. Now let's zoom out. This isn't just personal finance. It's a philosophy that applies to time, energy, love, even creativity. We've been taught that more is better. More tasks, more commitments, more hustle. But that's a 20th century industrial mindset. The most fulfilled people in history, from the Stoics to the Amish to modern minimalists, all practice enoughness. They define richness as presence, not accumulation. Every time you choose to notice what's already good, you're not just feeling rich, you're becoming rich. The feeling creates the reality. But here's the cost of ignoring this. A 2021 study found that 78% of Americans feel financially insecure, regardless of income. The ones who budgeted most felt the most insecure. They were trapped in a cycle. Budget, feel deprived, splurge, feel guilty, budget harder. That's not discipline. That's a hamster wheel. And it costs not just money, but joy, sleep, relationships. I've seen couples divorce over budgets. I've seen people burn out from the stress of managing scarcity. The scariest part? They had enough all along, they just couldn't see it. The one truth that changed everything. Feeling rich isn't about what you have, it's about what you notice. Stop budgeting, start noticing. and watch your life fill with wealth you never knew existed. If this resonated, hit subscribe. We're just getting started. Next week, I'll reveal why the most powerful people in history never chased happiness and what they chased instead. See you then. Follow for history they didn't teach you in school.